In this video, we're going to unbox the Coffee Crafters Artisan 3E Fluid Bed Coffee Roaster. Let's check it out. So this is the pile of boxes for my Artisan 3E 3-pound fluid bed coffee roaster setup. So it looks like a lot, but actually Coffee Crafters has iterated on their coffee roasting systems over the years. And although it looks like a lot, the cool thing about it is it's super modular. So let me just give you a quick overview of what's in the boxes, I think, and then we'll open them up and confirm. So starting with the biggest one and the heaviest one, that's this one that's strapped. This is the actual coffee roaster. I opted for the indoor chaff collector, so that's what this similarly sized box is. This weighs a lot less, but it's the indoor chaff collector. And again, that's optional. You don't have to do that. You could vent it out to the outside and have a chaff collection bag on the outside. My setup's going to be self-contained, so I wanted the indoor chaff collector, which I think is going to be super useful. Let's see, this box right here, I believe, is the bean cooler, and for the roasts that I'll be doing with this machine, the beans are going to cool in like 90 seconds. So this is a really nice unit. This comes with the 3E. So this smaller box right here, this is going to be all of the accessories. I purchased a repair kit so I don't have to run to the hardware store, even though that's another great thing about this roaster. All of the components are meant to be easily swappable, but I wanted to have all of the swappable parts on hand, so I bought the repair kit. I also purchased my roaster during a promotion, so I get some extra goodies, and I think it's going to be in this box. There's a big square box there on the bottom. That's the blower. So the one thing that Coffee Crafters does not sell is the blowers, but they have recommended blowers. I bought the Grizzly, and that came separately. So luckily everything came within a couple of days of each other, so I can unbox it all together. And then the only other thing you're going to need is a pigtail. This is a dryer pigtail. So Coffee Crafters, they made these so you can put in just a standard dryer pigtail and plug it into your 220 receptacle. So that is very cool. So that's an overview of the pile of boxes that I have here. So let's dig in and verify what we got and see what we have. Okay, let's get started with the actual roaster. So Coffee Crafters is an awesome company. So the ordering and the delivery experience is top notch. They're from the Pacific Northwest like I am, so I got my roaster super quick. But they have instructions on the top, and they'll tell you this with your order confirmation, is to make sure there's no damage on any of the boxes. If there's damage, then you have the delivery driver note it down. And if it's severely damaged, you can refuse shipment, ship it back, and then you can work with the company. So, and those instructions are right here on top. But let's dig in and see what we got. Take the strapping off. Okay, so really nice thick foam. Packed really well. And I watched another video from Ken, the president and inventor of this roaster, and he said that one of his design considerations was to pack it small enough that they could do international shipping. So this is really well packed in here. And I have never done this before, so I do not know everything that's in here. But that's the roaster. So I think I have this backwards. So I'm going to flip it this way, because this is the roast tube, and then this will be the mast. So where the venting will happen, it'll pull out the chaff and any of the roasting smoke. And it looks like I can just pull off this outer box because it has a lower box that the roaster is actually sitting on, which is really nice. And I'll get rid of all this extra paper. Really well packed. Any more? All right. And there is the roaster. The new ones are coming in all black. They used to make red, which I have a lot of coffee equipment that's red, so I wish I could have got red. But they don't send them out in red anymore. But I have the black one, so we'll throw some stickers on that and personalize it a bit. So they also give you the ducting hose, and this is Everbuilt. If you're in the U.S., you can get this at most hardware stores, but it's nice that Coffee Crafters just sends that to you, so you don't have to run out and get that extra. The reason they want you to get your own pigtail is they don't know what kind of power you're hooking into, so that's why you have to get your own dryer pigtail. But it's nice they send you out all the tubing to get set up. All right, let's remove the plastic. This is taped really well. Grab my scissors here. There we go. And they have a little bit of bubble wrap here. And this is also protecting the mass. I'm going to set that down for just a second so we can continue looking at this beautiful roaster. And there it is. This is the Artisan 3E 3-pound fluid bed coffee roaster. So looks like they have a fuse over here. The operation of this is super simple. They have the heater element, which is improved in this model, and actually that's why this new one can do 3 pounds. They make a bigger model, and that bigger model, through development and production of it, they found out that they can use a newer heating element in this. So the old version was the 2.5, so you can only do 2.5 pounds. With the new heating element and the way they learned from their bigger roaster and incorporated those enhancements and improvements into this roaster, we can now do 3 pounds in the same footprint, which is just awesome. And then here's the roast air temp. And actually this is a limiter. So based on my knowledge, this is set to 750 degrees to shut everything off if it gets over 750 degrees. And then we have the switches for on, for the system power, and then the heating element. So this is the roaster. Let's pull it out. And it is heavy, very well made. And as you'll, let's turn this around. It has nice feet on the back. And this is where the pigtail will go in. It's Coffee Crafters out of Post Falls, Idaho. All U.S. made, which is really nice. So they partner with a metal fabrication shop. And this is all nice powder-coated steel, aluminum on the top. And so this is the roaster. This is the heart of the system. There we go. You see there, Artisan 3E. So one of the enhancements they made to this new mass system, the old system had this aluminum J hook that came over. This one, I'll install a hood that goes over this. But the nice thing is I'll be able to open this hood, see inside the roast chamber, and it will still be pulling the chaff and any smoke that's happening from the roast out. So, and actually, I've heard that you could just keep the lid open the whole time and watch the roast. This is going to be super helpful when I'm looking for roast profiles and making sure that the color is right where I need it. So this is the new mass design. And you can see that's where the 4-inch hose goes right there. And so this is going to be a little bit of assembly, but this video will just be the unboxing. And then I'll do other videos where we show it actually in operation. So that is the roaster. Again, this is the Artisan 3E 3-pound fluid bed roaster. And let's open another box. All right, next up, box number 2. Let's do the next big box. Okay, so just cut this open. And again, this one looks big, but it's not as heavy as the actual roaster. So I think I can just open it from the face of the unit. There we go. Nice thick bubble wrap packing for this. So this is the Chaff collection bag. So this is going to be the optional indoor chaff collector. So I do have a vent to the outside. I actually have a spot where there used to be a combo stacked washer and dryer. So I do, in the location where I'm going to roast, I do have a vent to the outside. But for mobility and in case I want to move my roaster to a different location, I wanted the indoor chaff collector. And it is a little bit more expensive, but it's purpose built for the Artisan 3E. So I think it was a really good value. This one is the same color as the actual roaster. When I ordered it, it said you could choose between red and black. Again, my preference, I'd have red, but I got the black one to match the roaster. So they look pretty similar. And in fact, the housing might be actually the same. But let's pull it out and check it out. Again, this is the Chaff collection bag. 2 of them, actually. And to wash these, you could just throw them in the washer, which is pretty awesome. A lot of thought was put into this roasting system by Ken and the crew over at Coffee Crafters. So I'm super grateful for all the work that they've done to give a really good roasting system, and especially fluid bed. I'm super excited about roasting on fluid bed for all the reasons you hear about fluid bed. But to me, I think it's going to be a new wave of roasting. And Coffee Crafters makes a package that is just super nice to get up and running with fluid bed coffee roasting. This is packed very well. This is foam and really big bubble wrap. Okay. More packing. All right. I can pull this out. So this is the back of the indoor chaff collector, and they just used standard 4-inch couplings for that. Let's pull this out. And there is the chaff collector. Nice hinge on the top, aluminum on the top, and here's a door. So it's just a chaff collector. So we're going to hook this up to the blower and to the roaster. And it's going to take all of our chaff and exhaust from the roaster while we're roasting and put it into here. Let's check and make sure there's nothing else in this box. And there is not. So that is the optional indoor chaff collector. Let's check out the next box. All right, next up, we're almost through with all of these boxes. I believe this is going to be the bean cooler, and based on some of the other boxes that we opened, there might be some extra parts in here. I know we still need the mast hood and some other things, so maybe it's in this box. Let's check it out. And this one is pretty heavy. My shipment, this actually came first. It was a 4-box shipment, but this one came in the morning, and the rest of the system came in the afternoon. It's kind of weird, but that's delivery for you. All right. All right. So again, another really well packaged box. Nice packing paper. Okay, so we have a lot of things in here. We have a box inside of a box. That's always fun. So this is the bean cooler. So this is the actual bean cooling tray. I'll set that to the side. This is a plastic container for your green beans as you're loading them into the roaster. So it's nice that they give you that as well. a printed out instruction guide. You can also get this PDF. I got the PDF when I was at the hardware store to see what kind of pigtail that I needed, but it's for installation instructions, how to put the vent tubing and all of that good stuff. So I'll keep that handy. And then the actual vent tubing. And they give you the mounting hardware, and this is really well packaged, and they put everything that you're going to need where it needs to be. Let's see. Try to make some room in here. Oh, and then here, oh, this is beautiful. This is the roast chamber. So this is where this is going to fit into the base of the roaster, and this is going to be your roast chamber. And this is super high quality, very thick, very nice. Something on the inside. Inside of there, you have a holder for your thermocouple. So your thermocouple is going to sit in there, and they give you instructions on how to position it. So you get quality temperature readings for your bean temperature, your air temperature while you're roasting. And there's a baselining that you do. So all thermocouples and all thermometers are a little bit different. So you pretty much go off of a baseline. So that would probably be first crack around 400 degrees, and then you adjust it from there. And then that's what your temperature reading is going to be from. So again, roast chamber for the beans. And this is quite heavy, so I'm going to set it down in here and then see what we have in here. This looks like a 5-inch to 4-inch tubing coupler. I don't know where that goes yet. We'll see when we put it together. Set that to the side. And then this is a new addition to even the 3E. They used to have a metal, I think it goes like this. They used to have a metal mesh chamber chimney for sitting on top of the roasting chamber. The nice thing about this, it's not obviously open all the way around, so the chaff is not going to be escaping all the way around. You can still see inside, you still have ventilation, and then it has a hole on the side for the light. So this one, the new 3E, has a light kit that sits in here, so you get more visibility into your roast chamber. So this is the new metal chimney kit. Very nice. Oh, set this over here. So I don't know that I'll be using this. I got the indoor chaff collector. It's possible I could hook this up, but this is the chaff collector that goes outside. So again, the chaff collector that I bought was the indoor optional chaff collector. This is the one that you actually get with the system, where you would vent this to the outside, and the chaff bag would hang out. This would, prevent the chaff bag from getting wet. It would collect your chaff, and then you would clean the chaff out of that. So this is what you get with the kit. Optionally, I chose to get the indoor chaff collector. There we go. We're almost done with this box. Roast. That's what I'm talking about. Roast. Okay. And then various fittings to connect the venting tube. And then this will be the hood for the new mast system. So when we unboxed the roaster, we saw the mast that goes up, and then an added feature of the Artisan 3E is they have a nice hood system that attaches to the mast. This has a hinge up here, so we'll be able to open that up, and then this goes into the mast for venting. But that hole that's in the mast, we could actually keep this up if we wanted to while we're roasting, or we can put it down, and that's what this hinge piece right here is for. But that'll attach to the mast and be over our roast chamber on the actual roast body. So that's really nice. Okay, still got more stuff in here. What do we got? We have another chaff collector bag. Really nice. Have a few of those now. Oh, this is fantastic. So Coffee Crafters actually gives you a roast log. So it gives you your different roast colors. I won't go through all of this. A very detailed roast log for your roast profile. You could do temperature settings. You mark down the coffee, the region, the producer, all of those type of things. This is really, really nice. So to keep track of all of your roasts and to do a consistent profile, if you do the same roast on another day or something, this is really nice. Maybe they provide a electronic version of this too, because I'm going to be roasting a lot, and but that's really nice that they give that to you. And a couple more pipe connectors. Oh, maybe this is probably the temperature gauge. Yep, digital thermometer, and this actually mounts on the roast body, and they give you a bracket inside of here to mount that. So that will always mount right next to the roast chamber. So you can, and then it attaches to the thermocouple, so you can have your digital thermometer readout next to your roast chamber. Very nice. Actually, a nice case that it comes in too. And then to keep your fingers from getting burned, they give you a couple of silicone grabbers. Coffee Crafters is great. They really think of everything. They're trying to make the roast process super simple for beginners or advanced roasters. And little details like this are just awesome. I didn't even know I was getting those. That's fantastic. An extra switch. I hope it's extra. Here's the thermocouple. So this is a DigiSense thermocouple that will hook up to the digital thermometer that we got. And then there is a mounting bracket inside of the roast chamber for that. And then here's the base of the bean cooler. So here's the blast gate on this side. So as you're roasting, you would keep the blast gate closed to make sure that you're getting optimal suction to the roaster while it's roasting. And then the mesh sits on top. And then when you're ready, you dump your bean. You open the blast gate, you dump your beans, and then the suction will cool your beans. And for this size, cooling is going to happen in about 90 seconds, which is just super awesome. There we go for that. Okay. And there is a switch in there. Have no idea what that's for, but we'll figure it out. And then box inside of a box. Let's see what this is. And this is taped really well together. I know you're dying to see what this is, so am I. Almost, what is it? Oh, this is the light kit. So with the new Artisan 3E, it has a light kit that just plugs into a standard outlet in the United States. And then you mount that on the side. And then in the metal chimney hood, the light will shine right through there. So that is all that's in this box, which is a lot. So there's going to be some assembly that's going to happen. Okay, let's get into the last box of the Coffee Crafters delivery. I'm going to set the pigtail off to the side, and I just got this from my local hardware store. I'm not an electrician. I cannot give you advice on which pigtail to get. You'll notice that mine is a 3-prong. That's the receptacle that I have. So the pigtail that you need is going to depend on the code, the building code in your local area, and then what your receptacle is. If you're remodeling or moving, then you'll just need to check with your local code and then make sure that you get the right receptacle or the right plug for your receptacle outlet. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side. And let's dig into the last box. Okay, let's dig into this. So I bought my roaster during a promotion, and Coffee Crafters runs different promotions. I think they run them monthly. The promotion that I ran, I'm going to get some free green coffee, 20 pounds. I get some bags, and I think an impulse sealer or a sealer of some type, a bag sealer. So let's dig in and see what we got. So again, things are well packaged. Oh, okay, here we go. This is the critical parts spare kit, the critical spare kit. So this was extra. I purchased this, and these are all standard parts, but I bought this. So in case something goes wrong, I can just grab it out of the critical spare kit instead of having to go to the hardware store or try to figure out how to source these. I just got this just for a backup. I've heard stories where somebody's roaster goes down through no fault of the design, but everything breaks all the time. Is a saying that I've heard, and I believe that in computers and in mechanical things. So this critical spare kit is going to be essential when I'm roasting. Something may go wrong, and I can fix it quickly. So I ordered this. This is separate, does not come stock with the kit, but that's the critical spare kit. I also got 20 one-way valve bags, so I can bag up some coffee. Very nice. And then another nice thing, we get an impulse sealer. So again, this is part of the promotion. So there's no guarantees that Coffee Crafters is always going to do this. I think sometimes they'll give you 10% off, so you can use that 10% off to go buy your own impulse sealer. But this impulse sealer I'll use with my free bags and my roasted coffee, and I will start distributing coffee. So this is the last box of the Coffee Crafters setup, which I got some cool things, and I got my spares kit. So let's look at the last box. It's going to be the blower. Now I just want to be clear that I ordered the blower separately from my roaster. Coffee Crafters does not sell the blowers. But if you go to the product description page on their website, there will be a place where they list out the recommended blowers. And really, the blowers, you want to have a metal fitting, 4-inch fitting, and you want it to be 500 CFM or above. So that'll be the last box we look at. So let's check it out. And then there was one. So this is the blower. I chose the Grizzly blower. And really, you just need a blower that's 500 CFM or greater. So if you have a bigger one or if you have an existing one, you can definitely use that. This one got really good reviews. There was one above it too, a Rockler that I was considering, but I went with the Grizzly just because it has a little bit more power, and from the research that I did, it's a little bit quieter. So if you're doing this inside, that might be a consideration for you if you're around other people or if you're sensitive to decibels. So this is a little bit beefier than the Rockler. So it's 1 horsepower where the Rockler is 3/4 horsepower. And then this is actually just a little bit quieter. Another thing is I couldn't get the Rockler for another 3 months. So it made this decision super easy. But I actually probably would have picked this one anyway. So let's get in here and see what we got. And this guy is heavy. So this is a 50-pound blower. The Grizzly comes with casters. So I'm going to be able to roll this around. The Rockler, like I mentioned, the other one that I considered, that one's actually made to be wall mounted. So these blowers are actually dust collectors, and they're usually installed in woodworking shops. So this is a smaller one. I think there is one just below this, but this is on the smaller end of dust collectors. But the Artisan 3E was designed for the blower functionality to come from one of these dust collectors. So this one, like I mentioned, so it's another box within a box. That is always super fun. So let me open the box inside of the box and see what we have. So this is the bottom plate where the casters will attach, and this is very heavy. So this is a sturdy built dust collector blower. styrofoam. Gotta love that. And then here are the rolling casters. Nice round design, so it'll just go all over the place. I could just roll it around. And then this has Velcro strapping and a dust collector bag. I won't be using that for this application because as we saw in the other boxes, we have tubing and hoses that we're going to connect it to the actual roast system. So I probably won't even open that bag. I'm not a woodworker. Maybe one day I'll be. But this is the dust collector bag if you were to use it as it was intended. And then here is the blower. Oh, this guy is super heavy. I'm not going to just set that on the ground, but this guy is super heavy. So I'm actually glad I got the Grizzly that's going to roll around on the ground. I don't really want to hang that on my wall for my roaster. So this will be attached to the bottom plate with the casters, and it will roll around, and I'll hook it into the Artisan 3E. Not going to go super in depth with that. This is just the blower that I'm going to use with my Artisan 3E. Okay, so this is all the pieces and parts, almost all the pieces and parts that came in the big pile of boxes that you saw. So again, this is the Artisan 3E 3-pound fluid bed coffee roaster from Coffee Crafters. This is not assembled. So these are all the pieces and parts that we took out. Now it's going to be super fun to put it all together. I still have to order some green beans and get all that working. But again, this is the indoor chaff collector, which is optional. You have to order a blower, or if you have an existing blower, that does not come with the system. You have to order that or somehow obtain that separately from the system. The bean cooler, the bean tray, and then everything on this side, I still have to assemble the mass, put it on the actual roaster. But everything on this side comes with the roaster. And if you're venting to the outside, that does come with the kit. But this is my Artisan 3E 3-pound fluid bed coffee roaster. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and keep an eye out for other videos where you'll see me roasting and having fun with the Artisan 3E.